The reason why cancer is so hard to beat. Cancer remains one of the most challenging diseases to combat in modern medicine. Despite years of research, billions in funding, and numerous breakthroughs, a cure remains elusive. Understanding why cancer is so difficult to beat requires an exploration of the complex nature of cancer cells, the ways in which they evade treatment, and the unique challenges they present in medical science. What makes cancer different from other diseases? Cancer is not a single disease, but rather a group of more than 100 different types of diseases that can affect nearly any part of the body. Each type of cancer has unique characteristics and behaviors, making a one-size-fits-all cure impossible. Unlike bacterial or viral infections that can often be treated with antibiotics or antivirals, cancer arises from our own body's cells. This makes it difficult for treatments to target cancer cells without also harming healthy cells. The major difference is that cancer cells do not respond to the normal signals that regulate cell growth and death. Instead, they grow uncontrollably, forming tumors that can invade surrounding tissues and spread to other parts of the body, a process known as metastasis. Because cancer originates within the body's own cells, the immune system often fails to recognize it as a threat, making the task of eradicating cancer cells even more challenging. The complexity of cancer cells and their mutations. Cancer develops due to genetic mutations in cells that cause abnormal growth and division. These mutations may be inherited, caused by environmental factors like smoking, UV radiation, and certain chemicals, or simply the result of random cell division errors. A key challenge is that cancer cells continue to mutate as they grow, creating genetic diversity within a single tumor. This diversity allows cancer cells to adapt quickly, developing resistance to therapies that were initially effective. Even within one type of cancer, such as breast cancer or lung cancer, there are numerous subtypes, each with its own unique characteristics and genetic profile. Treatments that work for one patient may not work for another, even if they have the same type of cancer. As cancer cells evolve, they acquire mutations that can allow them to evade chemotherapy, radiation, or immunotherapy, resulting in cancer that relapses or spreads. Cancer's ability to hide from the immune system. One of the body's primary defense mechanisms against disease is the immune system, which is responsible for identifying and destroying harmful invaders. However, cancer cells have developed sophisticated methods to avoid immune detection. They can mimic normal cells, produce signals that suppress immune responses, and create a protective microenvironment around tumors to prevent immune cells from reaching them. Certain cancers produce proteins that act as brakes on immune cells, effectively turning off the immune response around the tumor. This is why immunotherapy, a treatment that aims to unblock these brakes, is such a promising area of research. However, even with immunotherapy, some cancers are able to develop resistance or find alternative methods to avoid immune detection, presenting another significant challenge. Why treatments often fail or cause harm. The most common cancer treatments, including chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery, target rapidly dividing cells. While effective against many cancer cells, these treatments also impact healthy cells that divide quickly, such as those in the hair, skin, and digestive tract. This is why patients undergoing these treatments often experience hair loss, skin issues, and nausea. Moreover, cancer cells can sometimes repair themselves more effectively than normal cells, allowing them to survive treatment and continue growing. For example, certain types of cancer are highly resistant to radiation therapy, as they can repair DNA damage caused by the treatment more effectively than surrounding healthy cells. As cancer progresses, it often becomes resistant to multiple lines of treatment, a phenomenon known as multi-drug resistance, MDR. In some cases, the very act of treating the cancer may trigger genetic changes within the cancer cells that make them more aggressive and harder to kill. This adaptability is one of the primary reasons cancer remains so hard to beat. Metastasis, cancer's ability to spread. When cancer cells metastasize, they break away from the original tumor and travel to distant parts of the body, creating new tumors. These new tumors often have unique characteristics compared to the primary tumor, making treatment even more challenging. For instance, if a primary tumor in the lung metastasizes to the brain, it may not respond to brain cancer treatments, because it originated as lung cancer. Metastatic cancer is responsible for the majority of cancer-related deaths because it is much harder to control. Treatments that are effective for the primary tumor are often less effective against metastatic tumors, partly due to differences in drug delivery and the tumor microenvironment. Once cancer has metastasized, it requires a multifaceted approach to address each tumor location and type, making treatment significantly more complex. Cancer's resistance to treatment, a game of survival. Cancer is a survival game, and cancer cells are experts at adaptation. When exposed to chemotherapy, for example, some cells within the tumor may survive by developing resistance mechanisms, such as pumping drugs out of the cell, repairing DNA damage, or finding alternative metabolic pathways to sustain themselves. As these resistant cells proliferate, the cancer becomes harder to treat and more aggressive. This constant evolution within tumors makes it necessary for treatment to be dynamic and adaptable. However, with each round of treatment, the chances of developing resistant cells increase, making it even more difficult to eradicate the cancer entirely. Researchers are working on new strategies, such as targeted therapy and personalized medicine, to target these resistant cells, but it remains a challenging and evolving field. Why there isn't a universal cure for cancer? A universal cure for cancer is so difficult because of the disease's complexity and diversity. Each cancer type has unique genetic, molecular, and environmental factors that influence how it behaves and responds to treatment. Additionally, because cancer cells mutate over time, the disease continues to change, even within the same patient, requiring new treatment approaches. The most promising advancements in cancer treatment focus on personalized medicine, where therapies are tailored to a patient's specific genetic makeup and the unique characteristics of their cancer. However, developing these personalized therapies is complex and costly, and not all cancers have identifiable targets that can be easily treated. Conclusion: progress in the road ahead. Cancer remains one of the most difficult diseases to treat due to its complexity, ability to evolve, and capacity to evade the body's natural defenses. While progress has been made, a universal cure remains out of reach. Advances in targeted therapies, immunotherapy, and personalized medicine provide hope, yet there is still much work to be done. The quest to beat cancer requires a multifaceted approach, ongoing research, and a commitment to understanding this disease at every level. In the meantime, early detection, lifestyle changes, and preventive measures remain crucial in the fight against cancer, offering the best chance to reduce cancer's impact on individuals and society.